just that it really is so rewarding. And, we're blessed because we do have a lot of freedom. We're not required to have a certain textbook and do a certain thing at a certain time. We are charged to pay attention to the individual child and attune our work to them. Mm-hmm. And, it's kind of like cooking for your family. And you think, what are they going to love? And you give it to them and they love it. And it's so much more rewarding than if you just, got a box of cereal and said, here, have this.
Yeah, and I'm sure it took a lot of work on your part too. I mean, being within the EFL education for 40 years and basically having no set curriculum, you had to be very creative to come up and do your own study, do your own work to find activities every day to work with the kids.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I know we had a teacher probably 15 years ago, who had taught in public schools for a long time. And she came and she said, oh my gosh, I've never worked so hard in my life. And it's not that we have no curriculum. At our school, we have a progression of skills, but the pace that you go through it is different with different kids. And how you approach it is different, because you need it. Like if you rely on a textbook, that's somebody else's ideas and they don't know your kids, and stuff. You can use ideas from other books, but we do an awful lot of creating from scratch. Mm-hmm. But I do get a lot of ideas from books, and then I have to tweak them and fine tune them and make them pretty.
What about parents' concerns because I know there's so many parents who are always concerned about reaching certain benchmarks, and are their children meeting the benchmarks to get them ready for college? And how do you deal with that kind of thing when people are so concerned, even at really early ages sometimes now?
Well, luckily we have years of testing to back up what we're doing. And I just tell them, I'm going to go slow. You can count. I'm going to go as slow as I need to go, because I know if I take time to lay a really firm foundation with a lot of depth and a lot of joy, that they're going to fly. And they do, and so I just have to tell them, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, and once, we have a certain reputation. It takes time to get that. But when they see, it is harder now that in the US we have like the Common Core standards and stuff like that are really fast. But then like I look at the schools and I see what's the percentage of their students meeting those standards, and it's not particularly high. So they might hold those out, but that doesn't mean that the kids are all going to get them, and what I've seen again and again and again is if you really lay a good foundation and you really embed a joy of learning and they feel respected and cared for, that openness and that joy will carry them so far, when they want to come to school. And they, I was talking with one of a young woman who's probably 25 now, and I had her in first grade, and she said, oh, Narani, I remember doing spelling with shaving cream, and I remember this, and I remember that, and it just speaks to that school it can be a joyful part of your life. And when you feel that way, you want to participate, you want to do it. And so I feel like I'm protecting them by going at this pace. And, quite frankly, when I just talk like that and openly to parents, most of the parents that would send their kids to our school are kind of naturally inclined that way anyway, and they
Yeah.
get it. They get it. And if they want that real academic push from the early age, they're probably not going to send their child to our school. And that's
Yeah.
okay. There's no one school that's right for everybody, you know. So